How you doing?
Hey, Monty, how are you doing?
Good, hanging in there.
I guess you're not going to go to 7th year, right? So this is it for you. This is your senior day.
Yes, sir.
There's no coming back. Has that dawned on you? I mean, I know there's a hope that you're going to have another home game beyond this one, but have you thought about this week being your potentially your last week at home?
Yes and no. Just like thinking about it, like it does bring, it's emotional not being able to come back. But I don't want to say not being able to come back, but you know what I mean? Like thinking this could be the last one at home, but also at the same time, it's also kind of exciting that, you know what I mean? Like I get to play here one last time, just taking the environment, play with my brothers and stuff.
Reflecting on your time at UCF, and what's been one or two of your favorite memories?
Oh man. First memory is the scholarship. I earned my scholarship in 2019, and then the USF game at home was at 2017 with Mike Hughes taking it back on the kickoff return. That was like the best memory so far.
I don't know what question I can ask. I could follow up anything that cool, but I'll take it over to the Navy game itself. You mentioned a lot trying to get better on technique throughout the season. This may not be the best team talent-wise you face, but would there be another team that would test your technique any more than this Navy game?
No, Navy's going to test your technique. As far as, Navy's a team, obviously you said talent-wise, but I still think they have a lot of talent. You can't underestimate Navy. Like they're a group that works hard, and you have to be disciplined with Navy. Now, technique is going to come in handy a lot with Navy, just because of what their offense runs, especially if they're cutting backside, how much they cut, and on top of that, like they're just going to come off the ball. So if we're just coming off the ball with not our hands and just our shoulders, they're going to win that battle. You know what I mean? Like as a defensive lineman, I'm sure as an offensive lineman with D lineman not having hands, it's not pretty for the defensive lineman.
What are you most proud of the line's performance against Tulane?
So I'll say this: like Ricky Burr had I almost cursed. Sorry, had a heck of a game. He hit the quarterback 10 times. He had 2 tackles, 2 assists. He had a really good game. We had Matthew and Lee who had a really good game. Like we were gap sound, as a D line. Their offensive line was a really good offensive line. They had really good technique. 52 Sincere, he was a great offensive lineman. Strong grips. He got moving off the ball. So to go against an offensive line like that and actually perform, that says a lot.
Could you hear the fans? It was getting pretty loud. What did you think of the atmosphere?
I was surprised. As soon as we came out of the little tunnel, we seen how many fans were there. A lot of the players actually were excited. Seeing how many fans were there. They put a smile on their face, like wow, like we weren't expecting to have that kind of turnout.
It's it's a unique stadium setup that you guys walk from your area and you kind of go through the concourse. You have the fans on both sides cheering you on. Was that kind of interesting to go through going out to the field?
Oh yeah, it definitely was because like I said, we weren't like expecting that to go through the concourse and seeing that the fans were there. We were able to high five the fans and actually like interact with them a little bit, and then to even get on the field and look to our sideline where we had pretty much what it seemed like a filled stadium with our fans and Tulane's fans.
Can you give us a sense of like the preparation that goes into facing an offense like Navy's, the fact that it started with the off season, and is this week just more or less a refresher course? Like what's the actual amount of prep work that goes in throughout the course of the week?
We're gonna prep the same for every team. Navy, with this being a triple option team, we haven't seen a triple option team this year. Obviously we saw them last year, so it's gonna be. I don't want to say slowed down, but obviously it's going to be focused on being gap sound, being disciplined. So we're going to have, I'm assuming we'll have more walkthroughs. I'm assuming we'll have more time, technique-wise, with our coaches to learn what exactly we're going to be doing.
From a defensive line standpoint, what's the most challenging thing you have to deal with trying to handle the way that Navy blocks?
Most challenging is probably the cut blocks.
Yeah. How do you handle a cut block? I guess I should come out and say that. Yeah.
So they come off low. They're ready to fight. D-line wise, like the cut blocks is always like a challenging aspect of any game. You never know when they're going to cut. They're always coming off low, so it looks like they're cutting, but they're just driving you off the ball. So with Navy, we just got to understand like we got to play with our hands. We got to play with distance between us and the linemen.
What sticks at you the most about the loss at Navy last year?
That we could have won. That's the biggest thing that we should have won. Obviously, we had certain things that caused us not to win, whether it's defense not putting on a show or being able to stop them, offense not being able to score. It just depends on how you look at it. But that's the biggest thing. I mean, Navy just came out and they were ready to play and they fought to the end.
Did the veterans talk about that a little bit this week?
Oh yeah, like me and Sam were talking about in the training room that we kind of owe them a little payback, coming back. Like we want to win. I know they're gonna come out and give their best. So both teams are just gonna come out and ready to fight each other.
I know the scout team couldn't do their best to mimic Navy this week, but you maybe remember from last year, is it kind of like an adjustment period in the first series? So like these guys have been doing these cup blocks or whatever for 4 years. They know what they're doing, much more so than the scout team doing it for 1 week. Is it always is it a little bit of an adjustment when you get to the game?
A little bit. I mean, obviously, the scout team's going to do the best they can. I think they're going to give us a great look this week. They've been giving us a great look every week. Navy, like you said, Navy has more experience with their offense. It's an adjustment period for both sides, whether it's scout team and defense. Obviously, each time we get on the field, it's always a little bit different. They're gonna, they have coaches too. They're gonna adjust in different ways where, we may not have expected that and may have not seen that yet. So it's always some type of adjustment somewhere.
You just kind of think about, you're playing a military academy, and you got to experience their atmosphere a year ago, and they're going to go on to serve their country. We're coming off Veterans Day weekend. I think it's Military Appreciation Weekend in the stadium this week. What can you say about Navy's players and what they put on the line for their country?
Man, they put everything. Like I can't really explain how much it means to all of us. I mean, we get to play, the game of football because of them. We get to walk around every day because of them. We really appreciate them. All of us. Like even though obviously we're playing against each other, at the end of the day, we know like we all appreciate them. Stuff like that. So.
You guys have worked hard and put yourself into a position now where you control your destiny. You can feel it, can't you? You're getting closer to what could be an AAC championship.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody sees the sense of urgency that we have. Like everybody's starting to feel it. Like okay, like we have it in our palms. We just got to make sure we finish.
How do you control those emotions, knowing that the conference championship, could be here in a couple of weeks? You guys, it's already on the line. You came off emotional win against Tulane. How do you control those emotions for the here and now?
You just don't think about the future. You start thinking about the future, you start getting anxiety. You know what I mean? You just gotta, like I said, I always say it every week, take it game by game. Take it game by game. That's all you have to do.
All right, good stuff.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Monty.
Great, thank you.